Merry Christmas, everyone, and welcome to the program. We begin with the president, who has sent a warning shot to insurgents, terrorists, armed robbers and kidnappers, including economic saboteurs, to retrace their steps or face the full wrath of the law. His warning is contained in his Christmas Day message to Nigerians on the eve of Christmas. The president adds that if the culprits refuse to hit the score, they will meet their end, as the armed forces, security and law enforcement agencies are poised to confront and defeat them. He also asked Nigerians to live in peace with their neighbors, irrespective of their differences, strengthen the bonds of brotherhood and good neighborliness, and focusing on all that binds us together as one united country. Now, Christmas also came early for former National Security Advisor Colonel Dasuki, retired, who, after serving over 4 years in detention without conviction, despite securing different court orders granting his release on bail, became a free man, at least pending the outcome of his trial. Colonel Dasuki's 4-year sojourn in the DSS custody ended Christmas Eve on the orders of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, who said the release directive should be carried out in compliance with the order. Now, Colonel Dasuki left the DSS office late evening, shielded from everyone, and he, of course, including journalists who had been waiting eager to see his face. The journalists were denied access as the 2 SUV cars that brought him home drove straight into his house in Abuja. Mr. Dasuki is being prosecuted for alleged corruption while he was in office as NSA and possession of arms. Now, the Attorney General had said in a statement yesterday that whilst the Federal High Court has exercised its discretion in granting bail to the defendants in respect of the charges against them, he is not unmindful of the right of the complainant and prosecution to appeal or further challenge the grant of bail by the court, having regards to extant legal provisions, particularly Section 169 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015. The Attorney General also warned the defendants to observe the terms of their bail and refrain from engaging in any act that is inimical to public peace, national security, as well as their ongoing trial, which, according to him, will run its course in accordance with the laws of the land. So let's take you now through the timeline of the former National Security Advisor, and that's in custody. December the 1st, 2015, he was arrested by the DSS for allegedly stealing $2.1 billion. The 18th of the same month and the same year, the court granted him bail to the tune of 250 million naira. But the 21st of December, another FCT High Court granted him bail as well. He regained his freedom 29th of December, but he was also rearrested by operatives of the DSS on the same day, 2015. And of course, leading us up to Christmas Eve, where the Attorney General of the Federation ordered his release. Well, let's talk to Colonel Dasuki's lawyer. We're being joined by Mr. Ahmed Raji, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. We'd like to welcome you and thank you for joining us on this Christmas Day on the program. I mean, with the release of the former National Security Advisor right now, for you, would you say that this has restored confidence in the sanctity of the judiciary as the last hope of the common man?
Because in all of these problems, judiciary has done very well. They've given orders, they admitted him to bail, and they allowed him to travel abroad. But as to the implementation of the order, that is beyond the judiciary. And so I won't say anything has affected the hope of Nigerians in the judiciary. Because when there was non-compliance, it is the same judiciary we ran back to. And they did the needful. So the confidence is still there in judiciary. Judiciary is doing well, as far as I'm concerned.
What can you tell our viewers, if you know, how he spent his days, years in detention? Many people want to know how it was like for him.
Well, we were overjoyed by his release, so I've not had time to actually sit down with him to discuss the details of what took place while he was there. But the most important thing is out, we're happy, and we give glory to God Almighty. Because Some people didn't go into detention, they are dead, they are gone. Some didn't go into detention, they are struck down by strange ailments, maybe cancer or whatever in the hospital. But to God be the glory, is alive and kicking. So that is enough for us for now. We have not started interacting with him along that line.
What next for your client? Is this the end of the case? Some have even suggested, is there a chance that you're going to bring a fundamental rights suit on illegal detention?
We've already filed suits and there are judgments, damages already awarded against the government. So hopefully the government will do the needful by paying. If not now, maybe sometime in the future. Just like his release came yesterday, the payment will come soon too. To your question, we have filed suits on the violation of his human rights up to ECOWAS court, which awarded him 15 million naira damages, and then the Federal High Court with 5 million naira damages. So these are extant judgments, not appealed against, and they're subsisting.
There are a number of Nigerians who have talked about the federal government as well, using this momentum to release other political detainees. If I could quickly get your reaction to that as well.
Well, I do not know of other people because I don't have the facts of all cases, but if there are political detainees, I will plead with the government to release them, but I do not know of any. The only one perhaps they may want to talk about is about El Zakzaki, which is pending before the Kaduna State High Court. I do not know the stage of the matter, whether it's been admitted to bail or whatever. But all I know is the facts of my client's case, which for the past 4 years, the orders have been kept in breach, all the orders made.
All right, just finally, before we let you go, are there any perhaps conditions tied to the release of the former National Security Advisor?
Well, no new condition, because from the statement of the Attorney General, is that he has ordered his release in accordance with the orders of the court. Of course, be you high, be you low, you cannot be above the court of the land. It is just unfortunate that with all these orders pending or extant, we had to wait till yesterday before the colonel was released. But to your question, no conditions attached. They just carried out the order of the court, which has been given, and we thank them for that anyway.
All right, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Ahmed Raji, we appreciate your time on this day. Thank you for joining us.
God bless you. Thank you.
Also, moments of the joy of freedom for the convener of Revolution Now movement, Mr. Omoyele Sowore, who gets to spend Christmas as a free man. He also left the DSS custody yesterday following the same directive by the Attorney General of the Federation that the court order granting him bail be obeyed. Mr. Sowore was accosted by journalists who were eager to have him speak on the process leading to his release, but the obviously excited Sowore only seized the moment to give all the credit to his supporters.
And they should not relent. Nobody can take the people who are deserving for granted. Merry Christmas to Nigeria. Revolution now.
Meanwhile, reactions are trailing the release of Mr. Sowore and retired Colonel Sambo Dasuki. First to comment is Mr. Shore's lawyer, who said in a statement that the federal government should release other political detainees and criminal suspects in line with valid and subsisting orders of court. Mr. Femi Falana stated specifically that the federal government should liaise with the Kaduna state government to withdraw the charges filed against Sheikh Ibrahim El Zakzaki and his wife Zinat El Zakzaki, who have also been detained since December 14, 2015. Mr. Falana's statement reads in part, by ordering the release of Colonel Dasuki pursuant to orders of court. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Boubacar Malami SAN, has jettisoned the reactionary position that national security takes precedence over the rule of law. Since the Buhari administration has now embraced the rule of law, Mr. Malami should ensure that the valid and subsisting orders of all courts are obeyed in accordance with Section 287 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mr. Falana says that the El-Zakzaky case should be given a similar treatment as that of Colonel Dasuki and Mr. Shore. And taking a look at the timeline of Mr. Shore's in custody, August the 3rd, 2019 was the arrest by the DSS in Lagos ahead of the planned Revolution Now protest on August the 5th. The next day, the government sought a court order to detain Mr. Shore for 90 days investigation. August the 8th, Justice Taiwo of the Federal High Court, sitting in Abuja, issues a court order to detain him for 45 days. September 20th, 2019, the government filed a fresh 7-count charge of money laundering, treasonable felony against him. The 24th, Justice Taiwo ordered the immediate release of Mr. Shore from detention. Now, in October, we saw the court granting Shore 100 million naira bail, and the 21st of October, the Federal High Court ordered his release, as well as Mr. Bakare as well. December the 5th, there was a 24-hour ultimatum to release both men by Justice Ijomo Ojukwu, and the 6th of December, the DSS invaded the court and rearrested Mr. Shore. And of course, all this is taking us to 24th of December, where his release was secured. So total days he spent in custody is about 143 days.